The story started off with a girl shouting in an adventure guild, demanding to know if there's really no wizard in a black robe from here. The receptionist confirmed that was indeed the case, which made the girl question receptionist if she means she. An A-rank adventurer was crazy. Other adventurers noticed the commotion, and while some were confused what's going on, they could see it got something to do with those two members of White Sword Party. Their party was well known to be one of the strongest, and to think they were all beat up like that made them wonder what happened. Someone replied that apparently a monster appeared, against which even members of White Sword struggled. It was scary news to hear, but then the guy calmed him down, saying that monster was defeated now by some mysterious wizard who defeated that monster effortlessly, then disappeared without revealing his identity. The adventurers found it hard to believe, calling it a story that sounded like a lie. But one of them grew quiet and muttered that if the story was true, then that guy was the White Sword's lifesaver. They thought that guy must really be lucky to have White Sword members under his debt, possibly could even get some pleasurable reward. While they were lost in their crazy thoughts, one guy was barely holding in his laugh. The adventurers noticed him laughing and called him out for it, but he denied he wasn't laughing. Although inside he knows he would obviously grin in a situation like this, since he was actually the mysterious Wizard of Talks. This guy here was our protagonist, Higashiyama Turi, and right now he was feeling pretty happy to have reincarnated into this world. Although the adventurers kept bugging him, why the hell was he grinding? Turi recalled that he always wanted to be a protagonist who acts as a hero in the shadows, but he never really had confidence in his 25 years of life. But one day he spotted a shocking event unfolding before his eyes as a child ran into the road chasing a soccer ball, and a truck came barreling toward him. He shouted for the child to look out, and his body moved before he knew to save the child. The next moment, he found himself in a white space, greeted by someone claiming to be a god, leaving him in utter confusion for a moment. The god and began explaining that Turi died saving a child. He thought Turi might be depressed, but Turi straight up asks God about the child, worried if the child was safe. The god replied the kid was indeed safe, which put him to relief, but he wished if only he could have lived and played it like he was nobody deal and leave without revealing his name would have been so much fun. He wanted to watch his good deeds news and enjoy while drinking. The god liked how optimistic he was. Turi told him it's just the best to act like a shadow hero. The god then told him that according to his script of fate, which every person has, Turi should not have been able to save that child that time, since the child was supposed to die. But here, Turi ended up saving the child and changed fate, which in itself was a really big deal. So, as for his reward, the god wanted to grant his wish. Turi was not sure if this god person was speaking the truth. Then God calmly asked him if he was interested in being reincarnated into another world. And thus our guy ended up being reincarnated and found himself in the middle of a forest with some gifts by the god. Turi checked the situation, stating he received some cool clothes for real, along with a sword, a textbook, and a potion. The book seemed to contain the knowledge of this world, and he was able to read through it with ease thanks to some mysterious ability. Furthermore, he received 3 random special abilities, or so-called cheats of reincarnators, in which the first one was swordsmanship, which was medium for now. The second one was being able to use magic, but after trying different attributes of magic, like fire, earth, and water, they did not seem to be all that powerful at all. Then lastly, he had one more book, which explained how to use spatial magic, a book even a monkey could understand. It was given to him since he had extreme potential for spatial magic. Turi read through the book quickly and figured its use, one of which was able to make his bag into a 4-dimensional pocket. He then moved on to next use as he looked at the top of a cliff and activated his spatial magic. The next moment, he was teleported right there with ease, and from the height, he was able to look at the magnificent scenery of this whole forest. Turi looked at the wide, beautiful world around him. Flying creatures passed through the sky above distant mountains and waterfalls. He clenched his fist and thought about what he could do in a world like this. With this ability, he could truly live freely. Maybe in this world, using this power, he could become a mysterious wizard and live out the shadow hero fantasy he had always dreamed of. He pumped his fist with excitement, grinning and muttering that this was crazy, that he was actually getting excited. He then made a practical decision and told himself that first he needed to go to a village and gather information. As Turi made his way through the terrain, he spotted something in the distance. Some people, locals, were being attacked by an enormous lizard-type monster. He could see it from far away and could not make out all the details, but the situation was clear. He thought to himself that in a fantasy world with swords and magic, running into a tutorial event like this right away was actually the perfect situation action. Meanwhile, the group of adventurers downed was struggling against the dragon, and their leader was regretting being careless back then to have led their party to this date. She remarked if it wasn't for their party member, Marine, who was unconscious after saving them, they would have been ambushed from underground and might have died already. She exclaimed they needed to retreat right away, and she was willing to hold the monster down while Lilytan, the girl with a spear, would take the unconscious ones and run away. But Lilytan yelled back that she was not making sense, because there was no way she could even fight that monster with an injured arm. The girl knows she was being unreasonable, and it would not work out if she stays. She listens to the other girl and tells her to survive, while she takes their party members and gets some help quickly. The spear girl agrees with her and stays back so others could retreat safely. She braced herself for this job, although she doesn't know how long she would last against that thing either. She put all her faith into her spear dragon hunter and swore she would hunt down that damn overgrown lizard with it. She jumped the monster straight from top, aiming for the head, but even after she managed to land a clean hit on the dragon, her spear did not so much as scratch the scale of the dragon. She jumped back right away, feeling tension of how she would deal with that thing now, since her attacks were not strong enough. She decided to go for its eye and jumped to attack again. Right then, her leader told her to watch out, and she was late to notice that the dragon had swung its tail to hit her. She took some serious damage from the hit and was sent lying on the ground with blood coughing out her mouth. The party leader was next the dragon attack, as it seems her retreat plan failed miserably. She knows she can't do anything with just one arm, so Lilyton called her name out, Aisha. Run away from here. It's fine as long as someone survives from their party instead of all of them being wiped out. But Aisha was not going to run away, leaving her comrades behind. And as the leader of White Sword Party, she would fight to the end for her friends, even if it cost her life. But the dragon crushed her determination right away with a charge of dragon breath, and she knew it wasn't something she could do anything against. But even so, she stood there to try everything till the end, instead of just leaving her friends to die. As the dragon breath approached her, suddenly some strange magic was casted before her eyes, which blocked the dragon breath without wavering at all. Aisha was in for a surprise, and she noticed there was a wizard in black robes who casted that protective spell. She asked him who he was, but our guy, who arrived just in time, stayed focused on the dragon instead. He wondered if his entrance was a bit plain, but while he was thinking of small stuff, Aisha can't believe what just happened, because that guy blocked it like it was nothing by himself. She wondered how he did it. Then the dragon recovered and changed its focus to our protagonist, charging at him with its fangs. Aisha told him to watch out, but our guy was taking it easy, and he just waved his hand once, which was enough to cast the spatial magic and chop off the dragon's head in an instant. The dragon did not even feel when he was killed, while our guy knew he should not have paid that much attention to a simple, overgrown lizard after all. Aisha was too amazed at what she just witnessed, as Turi defeated the dragon who almost wiped out her party, and was killed by that man like it was nothing. The Marine, who regained a bit of her consciousness, witnessed Turi's magic and found it nostalgic. She then fell unconscious once again, and Aisha went to thank Turi for saving their lives. She asked him who he was. Was he an adventurer from another town or something? But he ignored her question and told her to take this recovery potion for her comrades. She was not sure if she could really accept such a valuable item. He told her it was fine, and she thanked him, saying it really meant a lot because she could now save her friend with it. She wanted to thank him properly later, but he told her not to worry about it. She insisted, however, our guy, wanting to keep the mysterious wizard act, told her it was not his achievement alone. He was only able to make it in time because she risked her life to buy time. So she doesn't have to focus on him and hurry to her comrades. Aisha accepted his words and went to treat her friends, while Turi smiled with pride, feeling like he was really cool just now. Everything went really great, and he managed to keep the mysterious wizard act without revealing his identity. He was counting on more amazing days ahead, and he was also happy for Aisha and her friends. But instead of being thanked, he wishes they would spread rumors about him instead. Within a short time, rumors had already spread through the city. People in the guild heard that a mysterious wizard had appeared and solo killed the dragon species, the very monster that even the White Sword could not defeat. The whole country was in an uproar over the unidentified solo dragon slayer. The scene then showed Turi, now without his robe, registering at the Adventurers Guild as a regular new adventurer under his own name, Turi. The guild receptionist completed his registration with a cheerful smile and said she looked forward to working with him. Turi grinned happily and said yes right back. Then he started chatting with the receptionist, mentioning he had heard a cool, mysterious wizard had appeared in the area. She confirmed that and explained the situation was not as simple as a hero appearing. The country would probably set up a full search for that person, since the monster the wizard had defeated was apparently a legendary dragon species, and even the White Sword could not bring it down. She was visibly alarmed by the implications. Turi panicked internally. He had thought the monster was just a slightly big lizard, and now he was hearing it was a legendary dragon species. He tried to keep his composure. The receptionist then explained who the White Sword actually was. They were the adventurer party boasting the highest ability in the entire Grey Isle Kingdom, including the city of Boris. They possessed 2 of the strongest class, 6-star adventurers. She named the members one by one. Lily Tan, known as Strong Spear, a former mercenary warrior with superhuman strength. Marine, known as the Witch, a great mage who controlled 3 attributes of magic. Wine, known as Fire Fairy, the youngest member and Marine's disciple, a cobra specialist. Saran, known as Beast Hunter, a professional scout and surveillance expert, and leading them all, Aisha, known as the Slash Princess, the genius swordswoman of the Noble Garden family. Turi's face went pale. He was shaking, muttering to himself that he had intended to enjoy a nice, leisurely Isekai'd reincarnation, and now he was spiraling into a huge story. He said he would have been satisfied if it had just become a topic over drinks. The story had gotten way bigger than he expected, and it was terrifying. He could not believe he had saved such an incredible group as his very first act in this world. The receptionist noticed he looked pale and asked if he was all right. He quickly composed himself and told her not to worry, that he was just thinking about his future life. Outside the guild, 2 members of the White Sword walked through the city together. Lily Tan teased Aisha with a smirk, asking if she was going to search for that mysterious wizard, and wondered out loud if the reward for finding him was going to be what she thought it was. Aisha told her not to tease her. Aisha walked with her gaze forward, her expression serious and resolved. She thought about the wizard who had saved her and her comrades without leaving his name, and had disappeared without even letting her thank him. She stated quietly that no matter what means she had to use, she would definitely find him. The scene shifted to the guild master, who had a conversation with Aisha and Lily Tan about the serious matter. Since dragons were the highest danger level monsters, and even 6-star adventurers like them were no match for it, so the appearance of a wizard who could hunt it down so easily was something even he had never witnessed in his whole life as a guild master. Aisha swore whatever she stated in the report was true, but the guild master was not doubting her, but instead was worried if that mysterious wizard was an ally or an enemy, because having an enemy that's strong would be equal to a national crisis. She doesn't know who that wizard is yet, but after recalling the few moments and words she had with him, she was certain he was not a bad person. 2 weeks passed, and in the middle of the forest of no return, Turi arrived here to carry out the goblin subjugation request he got from the guild. He was glad to see there was also a rampage fawn, a boar-like monster along with goblins. Since it was like a bonus, he casted his spatial magic to see the results of training all these days in real combat. As the monsters ambushed him, Turi didn't even take them seriously and simply casted spatial barrier. The goblins and rampage fawn were stopped by the barrier. Turi was glad with the casting speed and strength of it. Now he moved on to check the next spell, as he waved his hand down like a chop, while praying for those poor monsters who became his practice target. The goblins and rampage fawn were all wiped out with a clean slice from spatial cut magic, and the subjugation was over before he knew it. He had to admit these skills were really cheat level, and against multiple opponents, he kinda needs more practice to increase his accuracy even further. He wanted to become the strongest, to keep having fun playing the mysterious wizard. Later he returned back to the guild. The receptionist welcomed him and saw him carrying a rampage fawn on his back. Turi asked her to check if he finished the request now. He showed her the proof of subjugation, goblin ears, and a rampage fawn, marking his quest as completed. She gave him his reward for the quest, along with some additional rewards for bringing a rampage fawn, which wasn't in the quest. Turi recalled that when he came to this world, he stood out more than expected, which worried him a bit, but everything seems to be going well now. The receptionist also told him he was doing really well, since he just registered the other day, and yet has already been promoted to 2-star adventurer. Turi was glad he did, although he wished he would quickly hit the 3 stars to live a stable life. Then someone yelled, "There's the old man," referring to Turi, and stated he was too old to be acting tough after reaching 2 stars. Elise, the receptionist, told them not to be rude to Turi, but they replied they just stated the truth, because normally one could become an adventurer at 15, so starting it at 25 was really late. Turi didn't like his age being mocked, even though he was still young. Elise told him not to pay any mind to likes of those, because they were just anxious about being surpassed by a rookie. And besides, the rampage boar he brought was normally something that takes a 3-star to hunt. It only gets more difficult if they are in a group. Turi asked her if he was standing out in a bad way, which would be bad for him, since he did not want to stand out like that. She assured it's not bad, and it would have been surprising if he had defeated multiple rampage fangs at once. It would have caused an uproar for real. Turi was startled, because he indeed defeated many of them. That was close. He was glad he did not get greedy and brought them back with him. Elise noticed pale expression and asked what's wrong. He replied it's just he was thinking about his future life, nothing much. At the same time, someone was sitting behind him, eating a burger while looking at him. She wondered if that late bloomer had something to do with that mysterious wizard. Now, there were posters all over the city looking for the mysterious wizard with a reward for person who will find him. Turi was shocked by the extent of the search, and he figured he needs to be really careful from now on. Then someone called out to him, referring to him as brother. It was a shopkeeper trying to advertise his magic lamp to him. He assured the lamp uses high-quality orichalc, so it was worth the price. Turi doesn't think he needs it, since he could use fire magic. Then the same girl from before, Marine, said out loud that the shopkeeper should not sell fake and impure stuff with lies. The shopkeeper claimed he wasn't lying, but she knew better, since she was an experienced 6-star mage. Later, Turi and she walked together, with him thanking her for the help back there. He introduced himself as Turi, and she introduced herself back as Marine. Turi get the feeling he might have heard that name somewhere, and either way, he feels the need to thank her for helping him with something like a meal. She, in that case, asked him to buy some sweets. He gladly agreed to that and took her to the nearest sweet shop. Marine's eyes sparkled as she glanced upon the sweets, and when he asked her what does she want, she just asked him to buy everything. He let out a surprised voice, while she didn't seem to get the problem. She changed and asked for half instead then, but even that would be much for his pocket, since he's a rookie adventurer. He asked her why she didn't try those baked goods on the other tray, but she claimed that those sweets are small, and she got to try them all, since each sweet has a different flavor that must be tried. Turi ended up giving in and bought her the sweets she wanted. She was eating them leisurely, while he was kind of worried about his pocket now, since he would now have to take more quests to make up for the sweets. When he looked back at her, the sweets were already gone, making him shocked. Where did that amount of sweets vanish like that? She replied they were in her belly, and the time spent eating sweets is bliss. He muttered that's good. Then she thanked him and said he was a good person. He got worried, thinking she was the type of girl who would follow a bad person for sweets. She then asked him why he had a magic tool when he seemed to be a swordsman, to which she replied it should not be odd for a swordsman to have magic power. She told him magic power and magic were different things. Simply having magic power doesn't make one able to use it, but he replied that he could use it, even if it's trash level. She was startled by his magic and asked him to try putting his magic power into this crystal in her hands. He noticed it was a black orichalcum, making him wonder why he should. She told him to just do it, and he followed the instructions, leading the orichalcum to react strongly. She was amazed by it and was sure that Turi could use some amazing magic for sure, something that might be able to defeat an earth dragon. Turi was shocked by the sudden remark and asked if she meant that mysterious wizard who saved White Sword. She said yes, and he wondered if he messed up somewhere to expose himself. He wondered what would happen if his identity was exposed like this. He played dumb and said that was impossible for him to be that wizard. If he was that strong, he would have already become a mage instead of swordsman. She was sure that this stone only reacts strongly according to the user's ability, and even she who could use 3 attributes could make it glow only up to 3 colors, while it reacted even strongly for his case. He replied maybe it's because he could use 4 attributes. She thought maybe that could be the case, but that too would make him an amazing wizard. He asked her why, so she mentioned most people could only use 1 attribute. Even she could use max 3 of them: water, wind, and earth. He told her she was amazing in that case, but she was envious to see a person with more attributes than her. He told her that should not be the case, because his magic was at literally trash level, but it was still frustrating for her, because she was the type who did not want to lose to anyone in magic. Magic was all she had, and losing it to anyone makes her sad. In that case, she wanted to have more sweets and asked him to buy more of them. He asked if something was wrong with her stomach, and she went to buy some herself this time. While she was gone, someone approached him. It was the same mocking adventurers from back then, asking if he was begging Marine to help him raise his rank. Turi was visibly annoyed by these guys, and while they kept troubling him, Marine came out from the sweet shop with more sweets and saw those guys from Guild talking down to him. She noticed they were also talking about her, and one of them said he was kind of disappointed in Marine as well, but it can't be helped since she was a weirdo herself. Marine was hurt by that remark, and the guy who said it did not seem to be apologetic at all. Marine stood silently in the back. Then our guy stood up for her and told those guys to leave it at that. The adventurer asked if the late bloomer dared talk back to them. Turi told them clearly he don't care what they say about him, but they don't have the right to make fun of Marine. Marine in the back was moved by his words, while those adventurers were annoyed by Turi. They were about to attack him, but then Marine intervened, asking what was happening here. They were shocked to be confronted by her, and since she seemed to be pissed off, they quickly ran away from there. Turi asked her if she was listening the whole time. She agreed and thanked him for standing up for her. He claimed it was nothing, and she was really amazing, so he can't hear bad for her. She asked him why he thinks that he could tell she must have worked really hard for her magic skills and could be frustrated when someone talks bad about her. He used to be a person who didn't have that, and he always made excuses without even trying to be special. So, from his perspective, she was a very special and charming person. She was surprised to be called charming. He quickly tried to explain he didn't mean it in a weird way. She turned her face around, saying she was not happy to be praised by someone more amazing than her. But for some reason, she doesn't feel bad either. He again explained he was not that great anyway. He can't be a wizard with those skills. She knows he can't be a wizard with trash-level skills, so she would give him this orichalcum, after which she turned to leave, and he asked her to wait. She stopped and asked him for his name again. He reminded her by telling him at the beginning. He told his name to her again, and she promised to remember it this time. And before leaving, she told Turi he was her person of interest from now on. Turi was moved at first, until he wondered if this means she suspects him of being the mysterious wizard. After she left, he wondered if he should head to take more quests now. At the guild, Elise asked him what was wrong, as he seemed troubled. He replied he just had a bad day for his wallet, so he came here to take a quest. She told him there were no quests for 2 stars currently, which put him in a pinch. And when he asked why, she replied that those kids who picked a fight with him might be trying to harass him by taking all 2-star quests. Turi was mad at those guys, and right now the lowest quest available was a kobold nest investigation, but it was not suitable for a 2-star adventurer. She can't let him go on such a dangerous quest alone. He knew that and asked to take a 1-star quest. Then Marine came and offered to go with Turi on that quest. When the receptionist saw her, she asked Marine if her injury from the Earth Dragon was okay now. Marine replied it was healed now, and said there won't be an issue if she tags along with Turi on this quest. Turi asked her why take a quest with him, wondering inside if she wanted to monitor him, the suspect for mysterious wizard. She told him to buy sweets later to thank her, which kind of assured him she was just in it for sweets. But before they head out, she suggested they should try out Rampage Fong's meat first. He mentioned she just ate a lot of sweets. She claimed she got a separate stomach for that. The receptionist asked Turi in surprise how he got to know Marine. Turi asked her if she was that famous, to which she replied telling him about Marine before the witch from the White Sword Party, a star mage. Turi's world turned upside down. It turns out he was carrying the same person who had been searching for him all this time unknowingly. After that, while they were eating, he wondered how long tomorrow's investigation would take. Marine replied it takes like 2 to 3 days normally, but since she was with him, it would be done in a day. He thanked her for being here then. However, she noticed he seemed anxious. He can't directly say she was the cause for it. Then the Marine figured he must be nervous because he got a 6-star mage with him. Well, that was indeed right, but in a different way, since he was being searched by White Sword after all.